For the next 5 days, I'm going to be playing Roblox Phighting with one goal in mind. Can I become somewhat decent at the game? Well, we'll see how that starts with... Firstly, elephant in the room if you've played Phighting before or know pretty much anything about it. Who is my main between all 15 of these characters? Well, it's pretty obvious if you've been paying attention to my previous videos on Phighting or were looking at the thumbnail. It's Rocket. I don't know why I like him. He's just a silly little guy. And the sound for a direct hit from the Rocket base attack and the E attack is way too good. Starting day 1 with 43,350 bucks and level 51, my first game was a conquer loss on Roblox Arcade where I got last placed on the leaderboard here. My second game was a win on Bandlands where I placed 3rd overall, and then I got a... That's 13X, W. And, okay, let me explain. It was a conquer match on this map. It's not important, I forgot the name. And during the prior intermission, I changed some volume settings because my volume was acting up. And since the settings menu was open when the goobers had map votes, I had no UI for the entire match. And the only reason I knew I lost because there was the burn, 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 burn sound effect that happens when you lose. I left the game after the loss and my UI was back. I then played a match on Sword Fight Arena where my team sweeped 95-2 and I got 3rd overall, leading into a match on Doomfire that I won 106-51 on, which is surprising as I have a terrible track record on this map. I also got 2nd worst overall despite winning, and the guy in last went 0-5-1. So how did we win? I have no idea. We then had a very close Bread Factory game where I lost 103-108, and that marked the end of day 1 with me level 52, one above, and with 46,625 bucks. Which, looking back on, I was really bad, so hopefully I do better on... I started day 2 with an incredibly laggy game on Rob the Roblox Bank. I don't like this map, it's too claustrophobic and tight, which is not good when you have a rocket launcher. We ended up losing and I got 3rd overall on our team. Then I got off and a few hours later I came back and realized I had 50,000 bucks. Which if you know anything about Rocket, you know I can get this banger of a skin, which is better than my previously used Pajama Rocket skin. First game with my new skin was a conquer on Iron Cafe. We won and I placed 3rd overall. What is it with me getting 3rd? I feel like I'm only getting 3rd. I then had a game on Bread Factory that I won 92-118 and I did the worst on my team. I then had a game where I was forced out of Rocket and my shuriken gameplay would probably put an actual shuriken main in the hospital. We somehow won and I only died once overall and got 3rd on my team. My last games of the session were a win on King of the Hill, a loss on Iron Cafe, and assumed loss on Kay's Canyon because I rage quit. A few hours later, I lost on Hotel Elephant, won on Underground World, won and MVP'd on Dodgeball, lost on Bandlands, dominated on Iron Cafe, lost on Town and ROBLOX It, which is, by the way, the only escort game in the entire 5 days, I'm pretty sure, so sorry to all 4 people who love escort. I then went on Skateport, which I'm sorry I keep going on these tangents, but I remember the old version of the map, and it gives me the same vibes as like the current bowling alley map, which is, I don't know, do with that information what you will. I ended day 2 with 5,000 bucks exactly and level 54. Day 3 started with a Conquer on Doomspire in which I won. A game of Conquer on Iron Cafe I lost, and a sword fight arena game I won. There was also some random 25% rock speed skiing. Somebody let me know if that's like rare or if that's sort of just like somewhat rare or something. My next game on Badlands was another assumed loss as I rage quit. Something important to remember, that this will come up later and it will be on the test, but there was this person using a rocket skin I didn't know existed and didn't recognize. Remember that! A few hours later, I joined back into the game and forgot to record the beginning of this match, but when I started recording, we were losing 8-6. And in the end, we did end up losing. My next game was on Laggy Arcade, and we won 88-16. This server was funny because since I'm so goated at Rocket, the game, they kept coming up with unique ways to nerf Rocket. My favorite of which was removing the UI, which, I had to deal with that, which was not very nice, but I guess they got what they wanted. Back to the games, I had a very close loss, 21-20, and a very close win, 114-122. My next game in space, I MVP'd on, which of course means that I must lose afterwards on Roblox HQ. This map is very divisive because a lot of people hate it, and I am one of them. It is funny, but not very good because again, it's too claustrophobic, which is not good when you have a rocket launcher. My next game on Not So Laggy Arcade was slightly less laggy and slightly more losey because I lost, which was not very nice. And that was the last game of the day, ending me with $12,900 and level 56. And hey, since you're roughly halfway through the video, if I had to guess me recording this right now, that means you like it. If I reach 100 subscribers by ever, I have no time frame for this, I will be making rose sauce, which is every single sauce I own and also 4 pounds of blue food coloring. So it's blue because the channel logo is blue. So you can do that, please. Day 4 was by far the shortest game I played. I only have one video file for it, so I did not play very much. Day 4 started with a game I joined late in, and now I'm realizing that this is either the 13x or 66x music. Somebody that knows more about this game, please tell me if it's rare or like if I'm hallucinating this. Here's the sound. Either way, it doesn't really matter very much as I lost. I then MVP'd on the dark map I forgot the name of, and had a very close win on Roblox Arcade. I then lost on Roblox HQ, lost on Teapot Observatory, lost on Rob the Roblox Bank, and lost on Iron Cafe. Wow, 4-game losing streak, and that's also where I ended the game, ended the day, so, well, I ended day 4 with level 56 and $16,800. So now, it's time for the final day. Okay, sorry, I know it's like, oh, the really, really cool climactic music, cause like, you know, the challenge is almost over, he's on the last day, guys. Don't worry, I'll turn it back on in a minute, but I have to get into like some analytical stuff for a second, so I'm gonna get like the analytical music. I'll put on like the cool dramatic music in like a minute, okay? Day 5 was certainly 2 hours and 20 minutes of gameplay footage. So you remember when I said that one rocket skin was important like 5 minutes ago? I told you it would be important. I said it was on the test, so you better remember that. Well, I was curious about that one skin and I'd never seen it, so I went to the Phighting wiki and learned 2 things. 1, the skin I saw was not on sale, but 2, there was another rocket skin called Pirate Rocket, which cost only $35,000, which was about double what I had ending day 4. So, I had one goal left, get Pirate Rocket before the end of the challenge. And that's what kept me going for a combined total of 2 hours and 20 minutes of footage. Okay, so I made a promise. Yeah, here's your climactic music back where I go back into the, the gameplay footage. My first game was on Nuke the Whales, one of my favorite maps before the overhaul. I liked the jumpy things, but now I don't like it, and because the new map is probably more accurate to the original, but less fun, and I ended up losing 8-20. The next game on Bandlands was overall a loss, and the next game had a random fighters thing, which again, tell me if that's rare please. But however, due to my incompetence using any fighter besides rocket and sometimes sword, this led me to rage quitting. I then later joined a match on time, but wasn't recording, and when I realized that and turned on my recording, this happened. I am genuinely so sorry. And because of that incredible performance, we won with an overtime comeback. Well, that's pretty nice. The next game on sword fighting tournament. Wait, why isn't spelled with a PH? There was a 25% extra damage thing. Somebody tell me how that rare is. It is, please. We lost. I then won on Rocket Arena, one of my least favorite maps, because they got rid of the music sync, which was like my favorite part of the old Rocket Arena. We then won on Sephoth, and I started a new recording about an hour later. I clutched up and went on Domino Valley, lost on Strange Place. We got destroyed on Screaming in the Hill because I had a new player on our team that didn't realize it's mainly team-focused gaming. It wasn't checking chat when I asked to play Rocket, so I had to play tank in the form of Banhammer, but then I lost because I'm bad at Banhammer and wasn't really thinking when I chose to play Banhammer, because we could have easily used a sword as well. That would have not only helped with DPS, but also I wouldn't have been incompetent with Banhammer, so it's also somewhat my fault, but also I wasn't able to play Rocket, and he wasn't very good at Rocket, so then we lost. And now I'm sad because we had no team composition. We then lost on Sephoth, but then we won on Bread Factory, so who really cares? We then barely won on Dodgeball, got a 13x, and demolished the other team. Look at that. Look at that cool guy's gameplay footage. You should totally subscribe to him. The best way you can gauge how good we did in the 13x is I got 4th on my team, and I went 9, 2, and 10. I then won on Arcade, won on Iron Cafe, won on Bread using Sword. Yeah, so for a lot of the upcoming rounds, I used Sword because he was my main before Rocket, and Rocket was, occupied on my team. You can't have 2 of the same character on each team. If you're wondering, my main history went from Rocket to Slingshot to Rocket to Boombox to Rocket to Biograph to Coil to Sword to Rocket, which was, certainly a history of all time. I then had a game on Space Knights that I lost, a game on the Roblox Bank I lost, a game of Teapot I cooked on using Sword, and an embarrassing loss on the final game of the challenge, 20-7. But it didn't matter, because I had 35,000 bucks, and that's all I needed. So I went back to Crossroads, and what awaited me was a truly mediocre skin.